Welcome back to the channel, guys. In today's video we're going to be doing the video that we've talked about for a couple of weeks now, and that's going to be focus stacking. I actually hoped, my wife found this beautiful moth and it was deceased, and I was hoping to really do some fun macro photography with it. I went out to the shop and I was cleaning up the shop, getting ready for that video last week, and lo and behold, I sucked it up in the vacuum cleaner somehow. So it messed me up for the entire day. I didn't get the video uploaded last week. However, with some good news, we're going to be doing some bird photography, and we'll be doing some bird photography videos soon. But for today's video, we're going to go ahead, I'm going to do 2 images, and it's going to be of a couple of birds out at the bird feeder. And this will be a great way to introduce you to focus stacking, kind of explain what it is. So what we're going to do right now, we're going to switch over to Photoshop. If you're new to the channel, I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Dale, and welcome to our channel. And let's get to the video. Alright guys, so over here in Photoshop I've already got the 2 images stacked up together. You should be able to see them on your screen, but essentially what we have is blended. This bird in the foreground is in focus and this one in the background is in focus. No, hang on. This is the original image. So this bird's in focus, and our goal is to get both birds in focus. So you can see this one's clearly in focus and this one's pretty dang good job in focus, and that's what we're planning on doing. And basically what happened here is I shot this bird and then I refocused on this bird in the background, and we're going to blend those 2 together. So as you can see, this one's in focus, and to start out and make it easier, what I've done is I've already got these 2 layers on top of each other. And you can see the 2 layers right here. And then also, this is just the same exact image, but you see this around the edge. And what I've done is you can take and lower your opacity on one of the images. And my goal here is to try to line up these 2 birds so that we don't have one way to the right and one way to the left. But if you can see this checkerboard around the outer edge up here at the top, that's basically what I've had to do when my camera shifted. Even though I was on a tripod, I shifted the camera. So it's not the best image in the world, but this just shows you that even with it being out of touch with the exact capture frame, you can still kind of move your main subject around and get them stacked on top of each other. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to stack both images together, lower your opacity, and basically just try to get your 2 birds in the same general area and not one way off to the left or right. That's going to make your image a little more sellable when we get over here. So the next thing we want to do is, this is the example right here. On layer 0, we're just going to add a mask. And we're going to get our paintbrush, which is B, and we're going to paint in this bird back here that's in focus. And I've got my opacity set to like 40%. You can, or the flow rate at 40, I'm sorry, hang on. Let me go back up here. Let's bump that up to about 87. It just makes it a little bit quicker. But what we're going to try to do is feather this out so it doesn't look as photoshopped. It doesn't really matter when you get down here on the edge, because nobody's really going to be paying attention to that anyways. But that right there is your big deal. You want this eye in focus. And now we could go in here and spend a little more time and kind of clean that up. But basically at the end of the day, right now, we've got what I would say is a great capture with both birds in focus. Zoom that out a little bit. And then you can always go in here and crop it and do whatever you want. But essentially that's all focus stacking is we're trying to bring more than one element into crystal clear focus. This one here is still a little soft. let's paint that in just a little bit more, because that could simply be because my opacity is not where it should be. But again, you don't have to have a Wacom tablet, any of that. You can do this with your regular brush. You don't need any fancy tools. We're just painting this bird in so that it's more in focus with the other one, which actually, look at this fly. He's in pretty good focus. But anyhow, guys, that's the real short, sweet version of focus stacking. Basically, you're going to try to take a couple of images. You can do the same thing with a scenery, a landscape scenery, and focus like 1/3 out, halfway in, and all the way to infinity, and do the same thing in Blend 3. I've done a lot of these in the past where I've done flowers or whatever else, but just to keep it simple, this is 2 images. We focus stacked, and it gives you a much better overall picture than the one bird being out of focus like in the original image I showed you here. This one's out of focus, this one's in focus. This one, again, where you've got the foreground bird in focus, but the other one is soft. It's still a sellable image, but I think overall, once you go in here and you make both of them in focus, I think that's just a little funner image overall. And it's just one more thing to kind of make your photos pop and stand out from somebody else. If you haven't checked out our other playlists, I'd encourage you to do that. We've gone all the way back from the basics, getting started. We're also doing photography with New York Institute of Photography course. We'll be doing reviews and photo submissions about that as well. If you guys are into backyard bird photography at all, please think about subscribing and come back and see us next week, as we're going to be doing our intro to backyard birding. And again, we hope you all have a blessed week. And let's go shoot some stuff.